And coming to the social media part, do you think technology actually has harmful effects on us?
100%. It can be harmful, but it can also be, a positive. It depends how you use it. It's more about your intentions of what you want to get from it and how you want to use it to either progress or, me myself, I used to scroll like, I don't know, maybe like 2 hours a day in accumulation, probably even more. And then without really knowing, you're just sitting there and you're thinking, why are you feeling like this? But the more you actually having to intake these short form clips, and it's like a short dopamine fix, we don't realize that we're programming our brain to get addicted to that short dopamine fix. So when things don't give you that quick fix of excitement or happiness, you are now less likely to be interested in it. So you're actually programming yourself over time. But it can be a positive tool, definitely. If you're building a business, or if you're actually looking at things that are going to help with your growth, or you're looking at, also helping other people and how you can actually go around certain avenues to do so, like charitable things and all of that. So it kind of depends how you intend to use it, I would say.
And do you think, a lot of devices nowadays, they emit EMF? What are your thoughts on the effects of EMF?
See, that's a big thing, I mean, I haven't done so much studies into it, but what I have seen about it, especially those wireless headphones, you can actually see the radiation that's coming from it. And I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and he was saying at the time that it's a kind of radiation that comes off that doesn't really affect the human body. And I was telling him that you can actually look at studies of people who are highly susceptible to that kind of transmission and that kind of connection. They see a lot of damage that's done to their body. Like, so there's people that have ringing in their ears, there's people that have consistent migraines and headaches, and when they stop using it, that changes. So it goes to show that it does do a damage to a certain extent, but there's some people who are more able to take that damage and not see an actual effect of it, but it's when I think about it, I'm thinking there's one in this ear, there's one in that ear, and they have to connect to each other. How are they connecting to each other? It's going across, but it's not something that I've done a lot of studying into to actually tell someone you shouldn't be using this or whatever. But yeah, it just seems like the further we go into, progressing and all of these things, it becomes a thing of ease of access of things, less wires and this and that. I mean, I love listening to music and podcasts, but I make sure I use wired headphones. And, Wi-Fi, they show that, no matter how many walls it's going through, there's certain studies that show that it definitely does an effect on our cells. So if you can, to turn your Wi-Fi off when you go and sleep and these things, it could assist with your sleeping. And yeah, there's a lot of studies that are being done about it. And I think the more time that progresses, we'll see more of an answer of what it's actually doing to us.
And actually, we've conducted some research on EMF.
Okay.
And we ended up creating a clothing brand out of it.
Wow, okay.
Which has this special silver fabric. And this blocks out EMF signals.
Really?
Various different sources like mobile phones, Wi-Fi's, this and that.
So you can wrap your phone,
it's integrated into clothing itself.
Amazing. That's amazing. I'll definitely want to have a conversation with you about that, because there's some people that I know who are highly affected by these kind of things. And,
From our research, we have found that it is something, even though it's in the background and, nobody really notices the subtle difference.
Yes.
That's there.
Yeah.
You're in an area without EMF and in the area with EMF.
Yeah.
There are studies to suggest that it can cause cancer
in
a way that if a person is in a EMF zone, their hormones, this and that, can be impacted, and that indirectly eventually leads to something like that.
I get you. It is a big worry, because that's the direction that everything is going into, just wanting to use that. And I remember also seeing something, they wanted to read the natural frequency of the earth, and they were saying the further we become accustomed to technology and certain things like that, the further they had to go out into the sea to actually get the reading of the frequency of the earth, and they had to go further and further because the technology keeps progressing and it's blocking out that thing. So imagine 10, 15 years time, you know, it's something that's becoming so huge. So we have to kind of see what we can do about that.